Morning.
Chilly.
Freaking cold. No, not really. I think mine is minus 13 last night. So yeah, it's a little chilly, but you know, we're in Canada. We get cold weather. So minus 13. Alpine troughs put out, ready for filling for next spring. Going to move them around. Not quite sure where they're going yet. Going to build some more as well, make some more. But tunnel. So ground tubes. These are extra long ground tubes. They're supposed to be 5 foot. I don't think that's 5 foot, is it? I'm 5'10".
No, you're not.
Yeah, I am. I'm 5'10".
I think you've shortened over the years.
That's because I lost hair.
No, I think they're about
They're supposed to be 5 footers because it's gonna be straight sided. And as you can see, they're not in the ground.
Why is that, Gary?
Why is that? Because the company that was delivering them was supposed to deliver them to me last Wednesday. I had like a day and a half window to put them in before the snow and the cold weather came. And basically they screwed up. So they were supposed to come last Wednesday, which was going to give me Thursday, Friday before the weather came in to get the ground tubes and the foam board in the ground. And they arrived on Monday. So I don't know whether I'm not going to be able to do it at the moment. But anyway, we'll take you out back and we'll show you. So follow me. Foam board in a stack. Not where it should be. So foam board's there, ready to put up. Now, you can barely see if Julie comes here. I don't know if it shows up, but what I did was I used, Willow, get off. I used all my old foam board. I marked it. It was already marked out. I had the nails in, so I popped the nails out, made a bit of a start with the iron bar. And if you come here, you can see. And what I did was I laid the foam board I had centered over the where the hoops are going to be.
I'm not sure I'm catching that.
Well, I can see it.
Well, good for you, Gary.
And I'm not scraping the snow off, so I'm hoping with the foam board it will keep the worst of the frost out. Bit of extra snow will insulate it, and I'm just going to wait for a couple of days is all I need. And we'll see what happens, but it's certainly not going to be in the next couple of weeks because we've got some fairly cold weather kicking around at the moment. Obviously, tunnel's looking good. Everything's fine. Frozen still. So let's have a look inside.
So this is your morning routine?
This is my morning routine every single morning through the winter. Step inside. Not a lot of space. Come in, and then I'm going to shut the door back behind you just to keep the cold air in. I don't know if it's any warmer in here or not. So yeah, don't bloody feel like it. Water tank, oh, that's full, that's frozen. So all the plants are fine. No worries about these plants that are out here. Let's have a poke and see how cold it got last night, because that's how I usually can tell. So that's solid. These are solid on the top. If we have a poke at these in the front, then that's there. Here we go. Look at that. Back of the tunnel. That I can't push. I can't do nothing with that with my finger. That's not. Actually, it's solid all the way around the pot. But don't care. It's not going to hurt. But come 1, 2, 3 crates further forward, away from the edge of the tunnel, to these, and I can actually push my finger into these, so these aren't as frozen. So that's 4 feet, so that shows the difference between coming in away from the outside of the tunnel. So I use the watering cans quite regularly just to see how hard cold it does get. So this one's full of water. Minus 13 outside last night. It's pretty solid. All right, so that's frozen. Not going to hurt. Oh, still a bit sloshy in the bottom. So let's uncover this and see where we are. So this is the early morning routine every morning. Taking off the layers of...
So this is commercial horticultural fleece, isn't it?
This is really heavy, really thick commercial fleece. Not your crap that you buy on Amazon or the crap that you buy in the nurseries and garden centre. This is heavy duty stuff. Picked this up from a nursery many years ago that was going out of business. So I've got 2 layers. This is a double layer, this piece. So we'll unroll this one first. And normally I wouldn't do this early in the day, but I'm doing it to show people that you don't have to heat things to keep the frost out. So that's the first piece. Then the next piece, again, has to be... Now, this one goes all the way to the floor because I have watering cans of water under the bench, and I have 1 or 2 plants under the bench as well that I really don't want freezing solid. So that's the fleece off. Now, I already can see from this poly that it hasn't frozen underneath. So if Julie comes in a bit closer, I can show you mine, the watering. Let me move that so you don't trip over it.
Thank you.
In fact, I'll tell you what, let's look underneath first. So if you come here, so these are watering cans again, 2 layers of fleece. Not frozen. Not frozen. So we have minus 13 outside last night. Whatever the tunnel hit, minus probably 5 or 6 inside. 2 layers of fleece on the floor, didn't freeze. Up on the bench, 3 layers, maybe 4 layers in places. Now I have hardy cyclamen in here. Now they are hardy and they will take a certain amount of frost, but I don't want them freezing because I have seedlings in here as well. So if we open this one up, now this one, to help it along last night, has 2 LED lights in it. If Julie pokes the camera in over, you can see the LED lights. Now the temperature in here last night, and this is perfect. There's where it went to last night. So you can see at the moment it's 5 degrees. No, sorry, the warmest it got was 5 degrees yesterday. Current temperature is 0.4 and the lowest was 0.5. So it never froze in here. And all I'm using is foam board sides and the 2 fluorescent lights. And there's just this little section I'm stopping because I have my cyclamen seedlings in here. I don't want them getting that cold. I don't mind if it gets to about those temperatures. No heat, just those 2 little lights stopping it freezing up.
Because everybody seems to think that we heat our polytunnels.
Yeah, everybody's under that, like Julie said.
Over the past 10 years, everybody says, oh, you've got to heat it.
You've got to heat it. No, we don't. No, and you don't have to. Oh, Willow's having a drink out of the watering can. I would have said we gain probably 6 weeks of spring and 6 weeks of fall by using the double skin poly.
Excuse me.
Yeah, the wife started coughing. So yeah, we gain. Do you want me to start that bit again?
Just carry on.
Oh, okay. So yeah, we gain about 6 weeks both ways with no heat. We don't need heat for what we're growing. Tomatoes, if we had them here, would have been under some form of protection, again, using the fleece. So that's a really good example of how the fleece, the foam board works. And then again, on here, I knew before I'd even looked in there, if Julie comes here, on the top, I can condensation. So that's condensation because it never froze. So that is perfect. So if we go around the corner now. So
I just made the comment that he starts every sentence with the word.
So I'm just going to start every sentence with. So anyway, so this side, no light, no nothing, same amount of fleece. And again, you can see the condensation on this. So again, it didn't freeze, which is what I'm looking for. In here, I have the Hepatica seed and all the Primula that I'd sowed. Now, I don't know what, this is going to be colder, obviously. But saying that, you would think it would be colder, but it probably won't be because it's on the floor. And you're going to get a certain amount of ground source heat, regardless whether this is dug in 10 foot deep or not. I bet you this is just barely frozen. So let's have a look. Oh shit, I said it again. So
Barry,
stop. Ha! Yeah. Let's have a look. There you are. I was dead right, actually. So it did go down to -1. And it's now, obviously, as you can see, it's just gone up a touch, 0.6. That's perfect for the seed that's in here, for the Primula. And I don't think, actually, and I know, I've just taken off one of the covers. And if I turn that over, This is wet. No fleece, just foam board sides sat right on the floor with the lid down. And that was minus 13 outside last night. So if that doesn't prove to people that you do not have to heat your greenhouses, you do not have to heat your polytunnel if you want to push the limits on what you're growing.
But the problem being is it's not easy to get hold of, the public, to get hold of things like foam board and certainly this commercial fleece.
Well, the foam board is an easy replica. You can easily do that. You can just buy what they call SM ground suitable insulation, which is blue, I think, and that's usually about 1.5 to 2 inches thick. So you could do this. Mm-hmm. The poly, obviously, anybody can get out of any old poly because this is just white poly that we normally put on the houses. The issue not the issue, but the difficulty probably will be getting out of this stuff. And as I say, this stuff is really heavy duty. And I know for a fact that if I put, say, 4 layers onto a code frame that you see on the floor here, I can have minus 26, minus 28 outside and I can stop everything freezing.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I'm fortunate that I'm here. This is my life, the nursery, the plants in my life.
That's how well the tunnel.
I love that noise, the snow sliding off.
Yeah.
As I say, I'm fortunate that I am here and I can get up in the morning, I can come out and I can uncover. But generally, I wouldn't take this fleece off till probably about 10 o'clock. The plants are dormant. They're not growing. The only thing that would be not even growing or flowering are the Cyclamen coum at this time of year. Saying that, though, I do have, again, if Julie follows me, I haven't finished this side yet, obviously. Nothing in here is frozen. So it's a touch of frost on the inside of the poly, not going to hurt. But say nothing's growing, look at this here. These are Cyclamen. These are Cyclamenus narcissus, a little tiny one. These are shooting. These are coming up now. These are coming through. And I did...
Cyclamen?
Not Cyclamen. Narcissus cyclamenus.
Right.
And then in here, I don't know if Julie can show you, there are more coming through now. Maybe you can see that.
Yeah.
Yep. So things are coming up. Things are the bulbs at this time of year. Some of the narcissus will be coming through. Nothing else doing anything at this time of year. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to stop a lot of this stuff just freezing solid. I don't care if it gets a little bit of frost. A little bit of frost is not going to hurt. Freezing solid is the thing. My cyclamen on the brain now. Primula here, they'll be frozen. Actually, that's still not.
Sat on the floor.
That's on the floor. Yeah. See the new. You can actually see new roots. The top ½ inch, that far is frozen.
About an inch then.
Inch frozen, but there's not much up there. The roots are all down here. So again.
And does it matter if these freeze solid?
No, I want some frost on them actually. I want the foliage to die off.
Right.
Once the foliage dies off, I can then get them all cut back. So yeah, a bit of frost on these won't hurt for now.
Yeah, but what happens? Do you mind if they freeze solid right down to the bottom?
No, because they're really not active. That'll stop them growing,
right? And
it'll stop them sending. Basically, I want them to go sleep. They'd be better off in one way outside where it's colder, but then they get covered in snow and I can't do any work with them. So I want them in here. Foliage will die off eventually. Then I can cut them back, and then early spring, I can then get them all potted up. So yeah, that's a catch up here. I mean, here's something else. Keep saying finding different things. Canna. A friend of ours up north got this canna, so I bring it back every year and look after it. Under the bench, no heat, just a layer of fleece, not even frozen. And I just want to keep this just about frost free. That's just 2 layers. So the ground is definitely the better place. The bench is because I want a whole bunch of this stuff up at a level that I can enjoy them in. No.
You know what I was about to say.
Yeah, shut up. It's nothing to do with age. It's nothing to do with age at all. Last year, all of the Hepatica or the Cyclamen, they were in a frame, like the one we just showed you, on the floor. And that's great, but they do get quite damp down there. Up here, I can get some air movement. But at the end of the day, these things will start flowering in February. I want to enjoy them. I don't want to be crawling around my hands and knees to enjoy flowers. I want to see them up where I can appreciate them. So that's another reason for this. And also then it does give me the option to put some stuff in here that is not necessarily that easy to overwinter. I've got Rhodohypoxis at the other end. They have to be kept frost-free. South African native. So that's the reason for building this. No heat. Lots of work, obviously, maintenance-wise, but it definitely works for us.
Just behind you, Gary, I just noticed there's a tray.
Oh yeah,
behind the fan.
Yeah.
Reason for that?
Would you like me to explain?
Well, just if you can do it quickly, that would be great.
I don't expect so.
No.
Of course I can. Yeah, I mean obviously the fan is mounted up high there. What happens is this expands and it actually gets sucked in by the fan on the intake.
Oh, okay.
So there's not enough airflow going through. So I put that up there just to stop the poly going tight against the intake on the fan.
Gotcha. Was
that quick enough?
Yeah.
That was quick. So that's part one of today's. I think I'm going to do some seed in a minute in the workshop, but I am going to cover this back up a little bit. It's still a little too cold to have it wide open. So I'm just going to probably just pull one layer of fleece back over for now. But I'll let Julie go indoors and warm up. Then she said she's going to bring me out a coffee.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, and then, isn't there some Christmas munchies in there?
No.
Oh. I know there is, but she won't let me have them yet. Anyway,
too early.
We'll catch up with you doing some seed in a minute. The children are playing, although he's not really. I mean, at 13 or 14 years old, you'd think he's...
he's closer to 14.
Yeah. You'd think he'd have grown up by now, but nope, not Thibaut. Anyway, seed sowing. It never stops. Everybody thinks, oh, winter's here, winter's here. What are we doing? Apologies for the growling in the background. Willow's aggravating. And here we go.
Cut.
I had to take the ball away from the kiddies. Making too much noise. Back to seed sowing. I never stop. I mean, seed sowing is continuous right through the winter. Different things need different conditions. So today we've got quite a range actually. So I'm going to do some Streptocarpus, which is this one. I've prepared, all the compost is the same. It's my nice standard woody mix with some extra gravel perlite.
So what would be the percentage of gravel? Do you put extra perlite in?
Extra perlite and a bit of extra gravel. I don't know. I kind of guess. I guess it's about 10-15% extra perlite and maybe 5% extra gravel. And you don't have to put the gravel in. The gravel's in for what I class as my outdoor stuff. The Streptocarpus, obviously, it's a house plant. It's an indoor plant, but it's not going to hurt. It wants good free draining. And I mean, if you put gravel in, it's going to give you the free draining soil you're looking for. So we have one here called Streptocarpus Dibley's Dragons.
Love that name.
I love the name. Yeah, I think that's why I bought it, actually. Not grown Streptocarpus before, but fancy growing a few indoor plants because there's not enough color outdoors, obviously. So these require totally different conditions to something else that I'm going to sow, which everybody absolutely loves, is that. So it's the Himalayan blue poppy. So this is my first little bit of seed that I'm going to sow of this. I do have a whole bunch more coming from the Echinopsis group that I belong to. So that will be, I don't know, it'll probably be another 4 or 5 weeks away. But this needs to go cold, and I mean cold. It can freeze solid. So we have the two extremes. We have the Streptocarpus, which needs a temperature of around about 70, 75 to germinate. Streptocarpus should germinate in about 2 weeks. This one will not germinate until probably end of April, beginning of May. So it'll take a while, but it needs cold. Do not ever, ever, ever put Echinopsis on heat. You sow it, you put it somewhere cold, and you forget about it for the winter. Then we also have, in my little pile here, this is another one I'm going to do today, Verbena bonariensis. For us, it's an annual, but again, this needs cold. I tried growing this. I tried germinating this for many, many seasons on the prop bench, different temperatures, nothing. And then in the end, I got so tired of it, I just threw it under the bench in the cold, and I got fantastic germination. So although the packet says 20 to 22, my experience says put it cold and let it sit cold over the winter, and it'll germinate in its own time in the spring when it's good and ready. But because it's inside, no, I'm not putting this one outside. This one will sit inside. The Meconopsis will go outside in a cold frame. This one will sit inside the tunnel, probably in a cold frame. It'll get cold, but it won't necessarily freeze solid. So that's the Verbena. And then another one I'm going to do today is Delphinium. So Delphinium astellat. All my seed is coming, as you can see, is coming from Chiltern Seed in the UK.
You have no affiliation.
No affiliation with them, but I do not buy my seed from anybody else. Best seed, best germination, best customer service, and for the seed, the amount of seed you get, best price. So again, this one, Delphinium, the packet says sow indoors, sow under glass, autumn, winter, but stick it in the fridge, they're telling you. We don't need the fridge here with our conditions, so I'll sow this now. I'll put it somewhere cool or cold, can freeze a little bit. Cool more than anything, and I'll just leave it, and it'll germinate in its own time in the spring, and we'll deal with it from there. So that's those. Now I'm not going to show you the actual sowing process for all of this because you've seen it all before.
You're going to do just one.
I'll do the Streptocarpus because it is slightly different, and as I say, it's a new one for me. So again, usual compost. This I am going to just lightly, I don't do it very often, and I'll lightly firm it down before I sow the seed, because this seed is like dust. Yeah, there it is. Got it?
Well, yeah, just about.
Yeah, it's a packet of dust.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming there's some seed in there somewhere. There's some dust in there. Now, they do say you can mix it with a bit of sand if you want to help sowing, but personally, I prefer just to do because this one I can see. There we go. And you see them.
I'll take your word for it.
They're dribbling out the end.
Sure they are.
Yeah. Look, you can't see that. Okay, go.
I'm going.
Oh, you're going? So this is definitely a do not cover. So I'm just going to give this another little very gentle tap. I'm going to brush the bottom of the piece of wood off just in case any seed is stuck to it. Label's already in. Done that. Yes, the label's there.
Wow.
I know. It's got its own little roof. Obviously, I'm going to give this a water, but I'm not going to do that in here.
Now, do you water from underneath for this one?
This one, I'm actually going to use a sprayer.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just going to use a little sprayer, hand sprayer, and just go over it a few times. Now, this one actually is getting preferential treatment because this one's going indoors into my new grow room, which we're not showing you yet. You have to wait for that because I'm also started up a new collection of plants, which again, you're going to have to wait for. So this one is going indoors. Now, the other one I will show you will be the Meconopsis. I'll show you that one just because everybody's fascinated with Meconopsis. So this is Meconopsis grandis. Julie will put a picture up. Nice bit of seed. You should be able to see that in there.
Yeah.
Yep. So again, because it's a nice size seed, I can see it. I will just do my normal, and I'm not going to tap this, not going to tap the compost down first. Just going to keep tapping. No, that one's empty. Label's already done. This one, gravel.
Are you tapping it down first? No. Okay.
Nope.
And how thick do we put the gravel
This is going to be a decent thickness because these will be sat in here for quite a while. Probably a good quarter to half an inch of gravel on here. That's it. And then that'll get a really good soak overhead and it'll be put into the greenhouse Not under the bench, not in a cold frame. It'll be put somewhere where it's going to get cold. Look at where these things actually are native to. And then most of them are native to areas in China, high mountains, Himalayas, cold climate, snow. And the other thing I have done in the past with things that are difficult to germinate, and I don't have a problem germinating Echinopsis, is actually in the middle of the winter, if I don't think they've had enough cold, I'll go outside, get some snow and chuck it on top of the pot. With some of the hard to germinate alpines, that seems to work really well. Again, simulating their natural areas that these plants are found in. Delphinium. Quite a lot of seed. This is another easy one to sow.
So this is astellat?
This is astellat, yeah. Broadcast it round best you can. Quite a bit of seed here. Oh, stoop. That's it. Empty. I like going my usual route. This one I will gently, the bigger seed I like just to give it a little tap down. And gravel. Gravel, vermiculite, whichever you prefer. I prefer the gravel. There, done. Give it a good soak from above. Big seed, soak it from above. Give it some cold, give it some cool.
Okay. What about if it freezes?
I'll try not to let this stuff freeze.
Right.
I mean, if it hits 0 in the cold frame, it's not going to freeze, but it's cold. Are we going? Are we going? Sweet peas. Haven't grown sweet peas for a couple of years. Just been so busy with other stuff. Ideally, I would have liked to have already sowed these. I do actually prefer sowing them late fall.
A lot of people actually sow them in the spring.
Yeah, and it's a mistake. And I'll get to that in a minute. Anyway, sweet peas. Again, all from Chiltern. All named varieties. Every single one of these named varieties. And the scent, I think there is nothing to compare. I'm not sure whether a sweet pea or a rose. I think sweet pea, honestly. This variety, not very many. Well, that's what you get. Because these are all named varieties as well, you're not getting so many in a packet. So this one is, as I say, this is Juliet. So we're going to sow these into a seed tray. Same mix as we used before. I'm just going to drop these. Oh, let's go a little bit. There we go. And of course, they won't go into one. So everything I'll label, whether it's seed trays, whether it's on the nursery and crates, is always labeled front to back, left to right. That's that one. Let's do one more. What have we got next? Princess Elizabeth. How about that? Now, the packet is saying October to April, so we're good time-wise. Or sow outdoors, March to May. You could do that here in Ontario, depending on how much snow we've got. This is the better way to do it. I'm going to put another label in. I'll pull it in a minute and rewrite it. So there's the first two in that variety. And then the next variety starts right here. So again, we're going to do a row. All right, well, that's two varieties done. I'm not going to do the whole tray because you'll all fall asleep. And probably Julie will fall asleep as well. So now they've just been sewn on the surface. All I'm going to do is I'm going to take the end of my Sharpie because it's a little smaller than my finger. And I am just going to push these little things just into...
Is that about half inch?
Yeah, about half an inch. Now, I did not firm this compost down when I put them in there to start with, so it's really nice and fluffy still. And then all I would do, sprinkle a little bit of fresh compost over. But I'm not, I will do that actually, but just on the end row, I want to leave the last couple of rows exposed so I know where I've got to. So that's all I'm going to do there. And then this would get a really good soak.
From top?
Above. Yeah, I give it a really good soak with the rows.
Because the seed are big.
Yeah, big seed, exactly. Yeah. Let's tell you why I'm doing it this way. First of all, these will be pricked out. So as soon as they start to germinate, they will be pricked out. One of the reasons for doing it this way is then I can prick out seedlings that are all of the same size and stage. And I will put 4 seedlings into this. This hasn't been sown yet, so I should just go 1, 2, 3, 4. But I can put 4 of the same size. into this pot. Any misses and stuff, doesn't matter, I just won't use them. That's the main reason for doing it this way. The reason for sowing them in the fall, or even now, very, very early winter, is to get a root established. The problem with sweet peas, and the problem that most people have and don't realize, is they sow them in the spring. They then grow them in a pot. They then plant them out. The weather is warm, really, really warm. They are such rapid growers. They put on so much growth, they do not have the root system to support that growth. So you end up with poor plants, poor quality flowers. This way, we will have a huge root system on a plant that maybe is, say 4 or 5 inches tall. It'll go out, the root system will be established, and the plant will get away. It'll be a really strong, healthy plant, giving you really good sized flowers.
Now, do we pinch back the seedling at any stage?
I think that's almost a topic for the next video, when we get to sweet peas. But yes, we do. And I think, as I say, I think we would, rather than try and explain that now, I think that's better done when we actually get to that stage. At this point, we're going to sow these. We're going to get them into the green polytunnel. They're going to go into, and I'm not quite sure yet, I'm going to try and build another code frame on the floor and put these on the floor in a code frame and keep them just frost free. They'll take a while to germinate, and I don't mind. But as soon as we get a slight raise in temperature, they will germinate. And at that point, once they're about 1/2 inch to 1 inch tall, I'll then prick them out. But we'll take you through all the stages. So that's where we are with the sweet peas. So I'm going to sow the rest of these. I mean, there'll be maybe 3 trays in total. And then once I've figured out where I'm going to put them, we'll show you that maybe next week. And then we can come back to it. But yeah, and again, apologies for the fact that it's a lot of seed sowing stuff. But that's going to carry on now right through this month, next month, and February as well. We're sowing seed continuously. We never stop. So I don't know if this is the end of the video.
What, once I mess about with it?
Yeah, once she messes about with it. But if just in case it is the end of the video, we'll see you next time. Thank you very much for watching, and please like and subscribe. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.